Everywhere you look, it feels like everyone is rejecting printed media. Print has provided some of the most magical moments in our lives, but now it is quietly disappearing and being replaced with something much worse. So in this video, I'm going to show you what it used to be like when print delivered magic, then look at how this was quietly cast aside before seeing if I can reverse this dangerous trend. And by the end of the video, we'll find out if print is really dead, if it's just bad business, or if there is still some magic to be made. If you're like me, you'll remember what childhood was like growing up in the 1990s and early 2000s. It was a childhood of quiet, of few distractions, and perhaps most of all, it was a childhood of tangible things. The biggest part of this for me was, unsurprisingly, books. My mum would take my brothers and me to bookshops and to libraries to browse the physical shelves and decide what we were going to read next. But it wasn't just this. So much of our childhood revolved around what we might broadly term print culture. We would revel in all manner of printed material. Menus in restaurants weren't just lists of food, they were blank canvases to be doodled and painted on. Programs at rugby and football matches were held onto as precious souvenirs. And we went round Disneyland with our autograph books trying to get all the signatures of our favourite characters. But the greatest magic for me came at this time of year, when printed Christmas catalogues would begin arriving at our door. My brothers and I would pore over these, some of them hundreds or thousands of pages long. And we would turn the pages, fold the corners, and circle the items that we desperately wanted that year. This is something I can remember so clearly to this day, is a testament to the tangible and the magic that print brings us. In Britain, the biggest and best known of these Christmas catalogues was the Argos catalogue, running up to sometimes 2,000 pages of products and gift ideas. And I know in America and Canada, it might have been the Sears catalogue for you. And this here from 1973 is the first ever Argos catalogue. It was much slimmer then and much taller too, but it is clearly presented as a luxury item in itself, with glossy covers and this bright gold lettering. And inside, in the first ever Argos catalogue, they promised a new system of shopping. You could conveniently browse 4,500 items across these 2,000 pages, and then you could go into a store and order what you wanted at the counter. This combination of the calm serenity of browsing a printed catalogue, but retaining that human element in the ordering itself, was a hit, and the Argos catalogue became known as the Book of Dreams. From 1973 onwards, the Argos catalogue became bigger and bigger every year, and by 2020 you had a catalogue that ran to almost 2,000 pages. This is the Argos catalogue from the spring of 2020, and it's really a rather lovely object. It's small enough in dimensions to be handheld, but it still has this weight and seriousness and heft to it. But then it was announced that this would be the final Argos catalogue, and if you wanted to browse their stock, you would have to do so by scrolling through a website like any other online store. But when they discontinued it, they did make a promise. It was announced that there'd be a digital archive of all the old Argos catalogues at a website called argosbookofdreams.co.uk. And reports at the time show that the website received so much traffic when it was launched that it kept crashing. But then in the days and weeks afterwards, people could reminisce by going onto the website and scrolling through those catalogues of your childhood, of years gone by. 2 months later, after the website had provided them with some Christmas time publicity, it was quietly taken down, and all traffic to it was redirected straight to the Argos online store. It shows us how fragile digital media can be, and also, I think, the huge gulf in experience between browsing the pages of a printed catalogue and endlessly scrolling through yet another online website. So the question I want to answer is, are printed catalogues dead? Is it just bad business to print catalogues containing what you have for sale and send them to your customers. I was thinking about this last month, about how we present as a bookshop the rare books and manuscripts we deal in to the world. And I thought, what would happen if I produced something like the Argos catalogue and the Sears catalogue, but filled it with medieval manuscripts, fine bindings, literary classics, devotional works, and childhood nostalgia. Something that people could receive in the post, spend time with, flick through it, maybe circle the items they wanted and carelessly leave it where a loved one might find it and order their Christmas presents. So I decided we were going to try it and see if it worked. We're going to add up all the costs we incurred by producing, printing and distributing this catalogue to our customers, and then see if it results in any orders and whether print is alive or dead. So firstly, I got to work photographing all of my books in our lovely Christmassy book room with the lights behind me, and then setting up the catalogue for publication. I included nearly 200 books and had a photograph of every single item in the catalogue, and this meant it ran to over 200 pages. And this meant when it came to printing the catalogue, I got a big shock. I could only afford to print 250 copies of the catalogue. And to do this and produce it in a nice format with a lovely feel, it cost me a total of £1,459.41. But when the catalogues arrived, I thought, and I might be biased, it was worth it. They have a real weight to them. They were beautifully printed and just feel like lovely objects in your hands. But because these were so expensive to make, I could only afford to send them for free to my 100 best customers from the last year. So I bought some festive gold mailing bags to send the catalogues in, and then inputted every single customer's address onto the Royal Mail website and paid for the postage. Because the catalogues were quite heavy and because I had customers all over the world to send them to, the cost for the envelopes and to send the catalogues to all 100 customers was £1,364.84. This meant I spent a total of £2,824.25 to bring this catalogue into the world and send it to my customers. For a small business like mine, this was a huge investment and a huge risk. But inside, it contained, beautifully presented, in my opinion, about £200,000 worth of books. So let's see whether it's sold any books. The catalogue has been out in print for about a week now and has reached customers all over the world, and it's just been launched digitally as well. But so far, only 4 books have been ordered from it. A beautiful fanfare binding, Bilbo's Last Song, The Little Prince, and C.S. Lewis's Letters to an American Lady. This means in total we've had £2,920 worth of sales from the catalogue. But when you deduct what those books cost me, which in total was £1,843, my profit from those sales was just £1,077. And because the catalogue cost me £2,824.25 to produce, this means so far I've lost £1,747.25 on this. So now is probably a good time to tell you that this video, as usual, doesn't have a sponsor. So if you're looking for a Christmas gift or a book for your own collection, please visit my website to see what I have for sale. And on there you can also browse the Book of Dreams.